In 2022, I felt like I was stuck in a constant cycle of overwhelm and recovery. So much so that by the end of the year, at Christmas, I was sick with laryngitis. Then we went away for 2 weeks, and the day we arrived home, I tested positive for COVID. I was just overwhelmed and worn down. I was exhausted. So I know that I need to make some changes in 2023 so I don't fall into that same trap, and so I enjoy this year, so that I enjoy my work, I enjoy my life. In today's video, I want to go through with you a few of the strategies I'm trying to put in place to help me beat that overwhelm. I wanted to share it with you so you can share my journey. Perhaps you've got some great ideas that you'd like to comment below. And look, let's see how I go in 2023 and see how I'm feeling this time next year. So I'm going to be focusing on 3 things: space, boundaries, and goals. First of all, I want to talk about space. It's my theme word for 2023, and it means a lot of things. For me, it means that I need space so that I don't feel overwhelmed. I need space in my mind so I can think and plan and remain organized. I need space in my life so that I can spend more time with my kids, with my husband, and also doing all those other things that I love doing, like reading. I've taken up gardening. I've been making sourdough. All of these different things that I want space for, that I don't feel like I'm pushing away every time I seem to add something else to my plate. So I really want to focus on space. The space in my calendar to breathe, the space in my day at the beginning, at the end, in the middle, so that I can sit down and relax. I can walk out and water the garden. I can pick up a book to read, one of the things I most love doing. So my theme word for 2023 is space, and I'm going to be trying to implement that in my business, in my life, in the way that I manage my diary, in the way that I interact with everyone that comes into my world. And I'm going to stop adding things to my plate, and I'm going to start taking things off. A big part of that space concept is setting clear boundaries. Now, I have spoken about this before. There is another link below where I talk about boundaries in your business. But I'm wanting to set boundaries, not just in my business, but in my life. And already I've tried to do this, and there's been a little bit of pushback. Not in a completely negative way, but I've said no to going to a few things with friends, and they were looking forward to catching up and seeing me. But I was just exhausted. I was tired. It was one more thing, and it was something on the only day that I would have had in, I think it was 3 weeks, where I had time to spend time by myself. And so I said no, and my friends were understanding, but they expressed their disappointment as well. And that's fine. I'm glad that they wanted me to be there, but it made me feel a little guilty. So one of the things about setting boundaries is that it can be a little bit tough. You might rub some people the wrong way. You might feel guilty, but you need to stick to your convictions, set those boundaries, but most importantly, remind yourself why you've set these boundaries. And so this year, I can go back to my theme word of space and remember what 2022 was like, and remind myself that these boundaries are really, really important for me, my mental health, my family, my business. And the final thing I want to do this year is ensure that I have room for my goals. So in my business, I run a personal concierge business. I have a lot of clients, and my business is basically to support them to achieve their goals. They're delegating things to me and to our business so that they have time to get things done. And so last year, I was very focused on helping my clients achieve their goals. And in a way, helping them is part of my goal of growing our business. But it meant that I wasn't focused on some of my personal goals or my bigger long-term business goals. One of my goals this year is to really focus on this YouTube channel. I'm thoroughly enjoying creating these videos. The response has been amazing and I want to do a lot more of this, but carving out time to plan and record and edit and upload videos is tricky, but it's something that I want to do. It's one of my goals for the year. So I really want to focus on my own goals and making sure that I have time, I have the space, and I set those boundaries so that I can work on my goals and achieving them. And that can be tricky when you're running your own business. You get caught up in just going. And if you don't say yes to this client, if you don't get this work done, you're not going to be able to send that invoice, and it all continues. So the tricky part for me this year is going to be working out how I can balance all the things that I need to do for clients so that we can run and grow our business, and also finding that space and time for the things that I want to do in my business, in my life, with my family. So 2023, it's all about space. It's all about setting and managing boundaries, and it's about focusing on some of my goals so that by the time we get to this time next year, I'm feeling like I really made the most of 2023. So if you would like to hear more about setting boundaries, I've got another great video that you will find linked up here. So you can click on that link and head to that next video. It's a huge help on setting and implementing boundaries in your business. I look forward to seeing you next time, and if you've got any questions or comments about space, goals, boundaries, or anything else, I'd really love to hear your comments below.